Hi, gang sexy. Let's talk Napoleonics, okay? So you saw the little snippet I put on there. Those of you that did see it, of where these troops finally got into their more or less their lines of departure to the French to start driving on their objectives around Vimeiro there. And now we've made that move. So I wanted to go over a couple little things when you're playing this. Now, granted, I'm playing with the soldiers rule now, the first level, the first tier, because I needed a refresher. But we started to make our move, and we decided to go. Let's hit it straight on the front. Let's hit it on the left. So let's hit it. We'll drive straight into the front, and we'll drive straight into the left. Okay. Initial dilemma: orders rolls for Wellington and Juno. Ended up with Wellington only getting one order to issue, and he issued it over here to a unit to give them an attack posture. All right, and Juno didn't get any, so none of his commanders, his formations here can be given an attack order. All right, which would be nice if one of those formations had one of these markers on them, but they don't. So what does that mean? Well, it means that they can move, they can fire. They can't assault. They can't charge. Okay. They can close into the zone of control, which is where you want to get this line infantry so that you can make your assaults. If you get an attack order, as this unit is moving forward, you can place an assault on him, and then he doesn't have to do a morale check to close on the enemy he's going to assault. And then you'll point the assault marker at the unit that they're assaulting. Now, in most cases with skirmishers or SED units out, in the soldiers game, when they move in here, these guys can reaction fire at them. And then you'll have cavalry can be able to do reaction charges, which these guys over here are not within the 3-hex reaction range of these guys, as the way I'm understanding it, okay? But for these guys without assault orders, if you want to close, you have to do a morale check. All right. Well, 3 of the 4 here passed. He closed, and he was disrupted. He got fired on. He ended up shaking, so he ended up retreating. Okay. Actually, these 2 did not pass. He passed, and he closed, and they didn't do any damage to him. All right. Over here, same thing. This guy had a disruption. He closed. He successfully closed, got shot, went to a shaken state, and had to retreat. He failed his morale check to close, but this guy passed his. This guy here, this guy's facing this way, so there's no zone of control, so he moved right in there. Now, do you necessarily want to start assaults from adjacent to an enemy? No, you don't. You'd rather be on the move, declare the assault, and then you don't have to morale check and you can move in. I think there's some other benefits, too, to doing that from a distance. So, now, in the soldiers game, only the skirmishers can react, according to the way I'm reading the rules. Only skirmisher-type units, skirmishers or the SEDs, only they can react on an enemy moving into a zone of control. It doesn't say anything about infantry in line being able to do that under a movement from an enemy unit. It just says combat unit for infantry, combat units that voluntarily change formation within or exit the enemy zone of control, trigger reaction fire from them. So, infantry, reaction fire for infantry, okay? But it says for skirmishers, it says combat units moving into, changing formation within, or leaving the front hexes, they can shoot at them. So, if these guys were not in their SED side, and these guys closed into that zone of control, they wouldn't be able to fire at them, according to the way I'm reading that rule. A little more depth, maybe in other rules. For those of you that are the true grognard of Napoleonics, when you get your hands on this, I haven't looked completely at this rule book, but the printed rules I had when I test played, or sort of demoed it, all the rules are in there in each section. So the ones that are in the soldiers rules, you'll see those same rules in the brigade one, which is the highest level, but then you'll have the additions that are added on to it. So those of you that are true grognards, you want to get the real effect of this stuff, of the Napoleonics and the movement in line, the 2 rank, the 3 rank, that kind of stuff, and how units performed or operated. Get into the brigade game. maybe you start with the soldiers game just to get a feel for how things move around and fire, and then, but because I did do some of the brigade game rules when I was demoing a while back, and they're not. What a great touch! I mean, Terry obviously knows what he's doing with this. I mean, he's been doing this Napoleonic stuff for a long time. So, yeah, definitely, that's the version you want to play if you play this. Me, I need to get some of this out so y'all can get all excited about when these games end up in your hands, because I'm telling you, this thing is fun, and it's a head scratcher without scratching your head. All right, I'm gonna tell you that. So they play these Napoleonics down to this level of game, like a Terrible Swift Sword or stuff like that. The tactical level, trying to keep your units together, keep that cohesion, but in this game here, the close combat, the assault, is probably the key combat function for infantry in this game, because that's how you're going to drive units. That's how you're going to drive units off the objectives that you need to take. And pretty much, during the Napoleonic Wars, that's how they operated anyhow. It wasn't, as I like to call it, sit back and just plink away at range. That was not the solution. So anyhow, what I was doing here was, so now these guys are sitting 2 hexes away. When the next phase rolls around, fire comes before movement. These skirmishers, they'll be able to fire at 2 hex range, okay? And then these guys, once they go into movement, they can declare assault and get in there. That's if they're still sitting there. The British turn's about to come up next. Excuse me, I don't know where I get these calls from when I start doing videos. In the meantime, like I say, the British turn's next. Nobody over here has attack orders, so maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have given that attack order to one of these frontline units like this guy, these guys over here, because all they're going to be able to do is shoot. And if they try to move away, then these guys are going to be able to shoot at them. So, but always remember that when you have skirmishers deployed, the line infantry that's underneath them that is putting the skirmishers out, you don't shoot with the fire strength of the line infantry. You shoot with the fire strength of the skirmisher, which a regular skirmisher will be the number that's SK. So and each unit will tell you how many skirmishers they can put out. It'll be by this number here. You see that little number 1 beside the 5? Maybe you'll see it. Hold on. You'll see that little number 1 there. That's superscript. That's how many skirmishers they can put out. SED units, now when the skirmishers are out, that's their fire strength. SED units, when they're out, they have a pink box. Some of the units that are one step, they have their SED marker on the back of their counter. That pink box is their fire strength. So in the case of these guys, their fire strength is a 3. All right, where a regular skirmisher most times is a fire strength of 1. I think I have a skirmisher 3 somewhere. Yeah, over here. I got some infantry. You can't see it, but there's some infantry over here near the town here. These guys have SK3s. All right, so they can put out a lot of skirmishers to the front, and that's the fire strength you're going to use. Plus skirmishers, it's like putting the fence in front of your house, and somebody drives by and throws a rock. They're going to hit the fence first. Well, the skirmishers are going to take the brunt first. They'll get a -1 because they're out in front of the unit. So when somebody's firing at them, if their fire table strength is 2, the skirmisher is going to create a -1. So now they're down to a fire strength of 1 on the fire table. And that's how that number works. And you have different combinations of numbers. You have, if you get a box like this that's red, i.e. like this unit here, this SED unit here, he has an SED fire strength of 3, but he's got a -1 because he disrupted. So he's already firing with a 2. All right? And believe me, the fire table is not difficult to figure out. You've got all your modifiers are right here for target, stack size of the what do they call it, the density of the units in the hex, target modifiers, fires modifiers, and then you got your table up top, and you roll to a certain number, and it tells you, whether you're going to do a morale check or whether they're going to lose the strength and do a morale check with like a -20 or whatever to their morale. And when you roll for morale in this game, if it's lower than the number, they're going to fail. If it's lower than their morale. A lot of these guys are 39. You see there's a lot of 40, 35, 39, stuff like that. So, and you're rolling, one dice is a 10 and one dice is a 1s. And if it's lower, you're going to suffer a penalty, the 4 different penalties. So you have your states are normal, disrupted, shaken, broken, and then they can rout. Okay. If you get a shaken result, you're going to end up retreating 1 hex and be in a shaken state. Disruption, you're just going to go to a disruption state and you'll suffer a little bit of a penalty. Broken, you're getting the hell out of dodge. Rout, you're really getting out of dodge. So you got to watch it. But like I said, you can rebuild these too as you go. You can recover this stuff. So, all right, but we're into the fight now. Did chase one British unit off right here, skirmisher. All right, our SED unit chased him back. Nothing yet over here because these guys didn't really get to fire. The cannons, it was actually cannons that chased that guy off. So, and the British cannons are not so strong in this game, especially using the soldier's rule because you're not getting the full strength. You're only using the shot strength in this game here. And the cannons have 3 different abilities, or 3 different types of shot they can fire. All right, so Vimeiro, we're dealing with the 1200 game turn. The fight is on. Nothing's going to happen here yet. But you can see, here come the British flank reinforcements, all right? And I'm going to tell you right now, I can't see any reason why these guys over here, with what they've got, should not be attacking. So we'll see. Like I said, I stopped off of the bot. The battle plan is changing because there's no way these minimal French units over here can attack this stuff over here. And like I said, since I dropped off the bot, I'm starting to use my own mind. So these guys are going to pretty much, let's cover the right side of this until they get one more set of reinforcements that'll probably come over and help. And hopefully the French will do their thing over here and make it a real interesting fight. All right. Let's get this posted so you can see how Glory and Empire First Victories, the play is going. Talk to you soon.